Do you have the courage to get what you want? It takes courage to achieve your goals, man. It takes courage to be successful. It's scary. Being like everyone else, doing what the masses do and following the herd, that's easy. It's easy to be comfortable. It's easy not to try. It's easy to give up. It's easy to stand on a sideline and watch while other people with courage go out and get all the for themselves that you want for yourself.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster. And then you should learn how to control it.
You see, life is going to pass us by if we sit here idly. You've got to get out of bed, you've got to get up, and you've got to dress your mindset before you dress your body. You've got to be able to look in the mirror and walk down those truths. You've got to be able to speak to yourself and say, it's time. I've got to evict out every negative thought, every nervous fear. You got to speak to yourself in such a way that you can believe it when no one else believes in it. You got to be able to say to yourself, I know that I am more than I was yesterday.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in.
Being aggressive. That means you are ready to attack. As I always point out, this doesn't mean you walk around with your chest puffed out, ready to bang heads with everyone around you. It doesn't mean you confront people physically or mentally head on without a tactically superior plan. No. What it does mean is that you are going to get after it. You are going to move fast. You are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy.
It's easy to look at these people and make excuses as to why they can do what you can't and say things like, yeah, that's because they've got this and that, or I'd do it if it wasn't for this and that. All that easy. And let me tell you, if you don't want to make waves or you're scared what people think, then you better prepare yourself for a life of mediocrity. You better dress like everyone does, walk and talk like everyone does, because as soon as you start to stand out, they're going to try and pull you back in. And it takes courage to push through that. As soon as you start to change, and I'm sure some of you have tried and tried a lot, you're going to get these people that want to keep you where they are. Because if you outgrow them, you're leaving them behind. And then they'll have to admit to themselves that it's possible. And that's the scariest thing in the world for them to do. Because that takes courage. That takes balls of steel.
Do you realize that every day you thought you wasn't going to make it? Do you remember them days where you thought it was absolutely unbearable and you thought you wasn't going to endure that one? Do you know that your survival rate for every last one of them bad days is 100%? You survived every hater. You survived all the evictions. You survived the firings. You survived all the trouble you ever been in. Your survival rate is 100%.
If I think the enemy is going to attack me, I'm going to attack them first. If I think they are going to seize a piece of terrain, I am going to be there waiting for them. If I think the enemy is going to flank me, too late, I'm already flanking them. I view aggression as a fire in your mind that says, I am going to win.
And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything he put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you've neutralized your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the bar. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage?
I want what all other men want. But when the opposition hits, when the challenge hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I just wanted a little bit more than they wanted. If you dare to be great, if you dare to do something that you've never done before, if you dare to go to limits that you've never went to before, they will remember your legacy forever.
If you are still alive, there's still room for improvement. There's still room for growth. There's still room to grow and be better.
But when you decide what's most important to you, your brain goes after it. If you don't know exactly what you want, or you let yourself get beyond that to something general, you're not going to achieve it. Clarity is power. The more clear you are about exactly what it is you want, the more your brain knows how to get there.
When you walk in, your essence, your presence, your impact walks in that room. You are a threat from the moment you got up to the moment you cross over to the line. When you come out of the tunnel, when you step into the ring, you have been a threat, you will be a threat, and there is an announcement that has been said over your life long before you realized it, where God said, this is my beloved son, my daughter, my child, and something great is in you. But until you realize just how great you are, you can't perform at that level.
I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
You need courage to change your life. Courage is needed to face your fears, to step out of your comfort zone and say, that's it, I'm done, no more. No more will I take this. No more will I live like this. No more will I let people treat me like this. It takes courage to fight back. It takes courage to get what you want and to start changing your stance. You have to go into it with the knowledge that it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be a battle. Not just any battle, not just some fight on a playground. This is a fight of life and death.
Turn up your game. Step up to the next level. Take practice more serious. Put more hours in. Put more time in. Challenge yourself to reach another level. Challenge yourself to beat your competitors. Challenge yourself to be a starter. Challenge yourself to win the championship. Your haters want you to fail. Write down. Make the decision that you won't give up. Make the decision that you won't give in. My why, it pushes me to another level. It pushes me to doing things that I didn't know I could do. It pushes me to be great.